Today, we're going to talk about how you can really rock your law clerk profile on lawclerk.legal. I'm Kristin Tyler. I'm one of the co-founders, and I'm super excited to be joined today by Nichole LeBeau-Nelson. Nichole, in case you haven't met Nichole yet in your dealings with LawClerk, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here at the company and the attorneys that you work with?
Yeah, so as Kristin already mentioned, I do work with a lot of the attorneys on the platform, both on the hiring side and on the freelance side. Like I mentioned, I saw some familiar names. So we actually help a lot of freelance attorneys get work done, find the best opportunities. And I oversee a team of our advisors here that help you do just that. So it's kind of my main role, but obviously, like I said, I talked to some of you. So I'm looking forward to letting you learn more about how you can actually get more work.
Yeah. And I think it's cool because Nichole and her team work primarily with the hiring attorneys. They know what those folks want to see and what they're looking for when they're posting work and hiring help. So we're going to translate some of that into some tips for you with your profile with LawClerk. We have a few slides we're going to go through, and then we're going to go over to the live site and do a little work there, and then we'll come back to some top secret tips. And so that's kind of the flow for today, but this should be fun and easy. And if you have any questions along the way, please drop those in the chat. We'd be happy to help you. So we're going to go ahead and get started now with our program. Okay, so over here, we are going to be talking about rock your LawClerk profile. And apologies here, a little technical. I mean, it wouldn't be a Kristin Tyler webinar if we didn't have a technical difficulty. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so why should you update your profile? Let's back it up just a minute. So just a few weeks ago, really, we rolled out on the website a totally new design for the freelancers' profiles. And before we can unveil that to the hiring attorneys, we need your help from all of our freelancers to really go in and invest some time to add some more details to your profile. When you go through this profile building process, you're going to see that we've added a lot of really cool features and ways that you can truly showcase your talent and expertise that should hopefully help you get selected for more work on LawClerk. And so we are requiring you to complete parts of this profile enhancement before you can apply to some work, but we're going to talk about that. As I've already hit on, one of the reasons we want to offer this enhanced profile is to help our hiring attorneys better see who you are and the work you do and the experience you have to unlock more matchmaking capabilities to help you find each other and get to work. We also want to give you some more flexibility on the work you apply for. There's a lot of features built in that will allow you to show, the time zone you work in and how many hours a week or a month you're available. All of those things can really help you better cater your work on LawClerk to your lifestyle in your freelancing career. You, of course, as we've already mentioned, can really showcase your expertise with this enhanced profile. It's like mega cool. And, again, I'm going to emphasize this. When you first log in, you might be like, wow, this is going to take some time for me to fill out. And it will. Won't lie to you, but this really is time that you're investing in yourself to make sure that you are representing the full scale of your legal freelancing abilities to these hiring attorneys. And so I think that this time you spend on building up your profile is time very well spent and invested in yourself, in your career. And Nichole, what else? What other encouragement would you give to these folks about why they should, come in and take the time to make a really customized profile?
So as far as creating a profile, it ultimately helps you put your best foot forward and find great working relationships. We've had a lot of successful freelancers who have been able to take on work, and a lot of that is because they really put in all of the experience that they have. Sometimes there's unique projects that they've taken on, or maybe they have experience. We had a freelancer before who actually worked as a nurse, but then later on pursued a career in the business segment of law. And so her unique experience still added a lot of value for personal injury attorneys when they needed unique insights for their cases. So anything that you've had that is unique and special to you can really help, kind of build those relationships and help you earn more in the long run in crafting your ultimate freelance career.
Absolutely. Okay. Great. Okay, so when it comes to the profile, there are now going to be two parts to the profile. Okay, there's going to be what we call basic and what we call enhanced. And we wanted to give you kind of an overview of basic and enhanced because we're going to be saying those two words quite a bit during the webinar. And we wanted to just give a broad overview of what this profile enhancement means on the bigger scale. So when it comes to basic, the things that you'll be completing in the basic part of the profile, and this is like super easy to complete. By completing this part of it, it will give you the ability to apply for projects only. So if you only want to do project work, great, go do your basic profile, you're set. And we're adding you to, put in additional contact information, upload your most recent resume. And one really cool feature is now you can actually upload more than one writing sample. So you can kind of have your own mini library of your writing samples to showcase your writing that you've done. Now, over on the enhanced side, once you've completed the more detailed enhanced part of your profile, that's going to give you the ability to apply to everything, to projects, to hourly opportunities, to subscription opportunities. So that opens the door to unlimited applications to all sorts of opportunities on LawCLERK. So that's really great. You're also going to be able to, as I hinted, set your preferred hourly rate for hourly work and your availability. So the hiring attorneys kind of know how much they can approach you for work over the course of any given month. And last but not least, as Nichole has mentioned, and something that's really exciting, it's going to allow you to highlight your unique skills or accomplishments. So I think without further ado, should we go take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to switch over to our, give me 1 second here. We're going to do another share to the website. So I am logged in to my freelancer account. So yeah, this is a fun fact if you didn't know. Actually, there we go. I have both a hiring attorney account that I use quite a bit on LawCLERK and then a freelancer account. I've only ever done one project. That's a long story. If you ever meet me at a conference, you can ask about that. And I'll tell you why I did a project. But I'm a little busy with my 2 jobs, both here at LawCLERK and then my own practice that I have. But so when you log into your freelancer dashboard, you're going to see this finish updating profile. Okay. And that's where we're going to go. And Nichole, anytime you want to add things in, feel free to let me know. But a really cool feature is that this little status bar, this box on the right side, shows where you're in the process. So you can see I already have my personal information completed and my education. I would have to fill in these other things. So this is what is going to be going on for the basic profile. I'm already 25% of the way there. So let's get that up to 100. So if ever I need to, I can apply for more projects. So this first segment is just personal information. It looks like I've got that all done. That's correct. So I'm going to hit save.
And on that section too, I also just really want to highlight, your phone number and your email is super important to add because that's going to be information that the hiring attorney is going to view when you start working with them and how they're going to reach you. So I do recommend putting a number in here, whether it's your mobile number or, maybe something that's a little bit quicker. We do have some freelancers that work within a firm and sometimes add a firm number and it can really cause delay in that communication. So definitely recommend putting a quick way to reach you here on any of these fields. And every once in a while we have gifts we send too. So yeah. Same thing on the mailing address. We use that to send information over to you or, welcome you to the platform. So I do recommend putting something in there that will go directly to you.
That mailing address also is where you'll get your tax forms when it's tax time in January of each year. So if you do move during the year, please update that so that we can get those tax forms to you so you can get your taxes filed promptly.
Something else I actually do want to mention too,
sure.
A tip on this first part, always add a photo. This is one of the best ways to get work on the platform. We actually took a look at some of the freelancers who have done a lot of work with us, and they on average earn about 6 times more than those who don't have a photo. So this is, something that you can add in. If you want to update it later, you always can, but that's definitely something that we've seen help in getting more work done too. It really helps to establish that relationship off the bat.
Yeah, definitely have a friendly professional profile picture. That will be a smart move. So, all right, we're going to go into the work experience profile, and this is a pretty easy one to complete.
Yeah, for the preference, this is going to be, it's not to say that whatever you pick is the only jobs you can apply for, but this is to help us, ultimately match you with more opportunities in the long run. It helps us better understand what you're looking for. And so if there is an opportunity that arises, our team actually helps you sometimes find those opportunities. And so if we know if you prefer hourly work versus a flat fee project, that's going to help us cater what we have available and find the best fit for you too.
And then, are you willing to go into an office? Nope, I'm only looking for remote. So there we go. So we're going to save that one. Okay. I'm making progress. And then last, my practice. Okay.
Now, this is going to be a percentage. So this is a good area to really separate out the different experiences that you've had. We have a lot of attorneys that have dove into some other areas of practice over their time practicing law, especially those that have, 10 years or something like that actually practicing. So any additional information you have, make sure to put that in there because sometimes that can really help too in matching you with something.
Definitely. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm like losing I see Scott Aiken has a hand raised. If you would be able to type a question in. Sorry, Scott. I'd be happy to help you. But so I'm going to say I do 95% estate planning, 5% of that. Oh my gosh, total years. Let's see, 2016. So I think I've done that. I'm going to say 16 years for both. And then we're good. And then you could add more if you had more, if you do a number of things. I'm barred in Nevada. That's true. Consumer versus business, it's probably like most of my clients are individuals, but some of them are business owners. So those issues overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and save my practice information. And you can see I'm already 75% of the way done on this basic profile. And then last, you can showcase your experience. So I already had a bio uploaded. I have my resume. It's probably out of date, but I'm not going to bore you with updating that right now. Portfolio of your work. Okay, so I'd have to give some thought to that, of what else to, with estate planning, I can't really upload documents, but that's what that looks like. And I'm going to hit save. Oh, motion or summary judgment field can't be blank. Okay. This was a journal article. And this was on my wills and trusts estate planning practice. Okay.
This is some of the additional samples of work that Kristin mentioned you can upload for writing samples. And so the more variety of work that you've done, that can kind of help take on different projects too. Like if you're applying for real estate projects, Kristin only has that in 5% of her practice, as she just showed. But if she shows something that she's drafted previously in real estate, that can kind of help her get the chances of landing that opportunity too.
Yeah. So the question from Scott that just came in was, why isn't there a research under area of law? So the research shows under the type of work when the attorney assigns it to you. So is it a motion? Is it discovery? Is it research? Is it something else? That's where that comes in to help filter work. And that's one of the filters that the hiring attorneys get to see. And then there was another question from Karen that was really good. She was asking, how is this enhanced profile tool going to help freelance attorneys when she says there's a lot of projects that require only California or New York licensure? So creating this enhanced profile builder was part one of a longer term plan you're going to see over the course of the year that will help the hiring attorneys sort and filter freelancers based on issues like that, like where they're licensed, where they need the work. And keep in mind too, we're always doing more and more education with these attorneys to show them why they don't have to have someone in a certain jurisdiction for a lot of the work that needs to get done. And so we're doing that too. But the filters will allow the hiring attorneys to better go through applicants and narrow those down. But there just are always a lot of projects and opportunities that come out of California and New York because they're such a huge state with big demand. So we're probably not going to see a change in that demand, but hopefully the filtering tools that you're going to start seeing will help reduce some of that friction.
And to add on to that too, your resume can be a great area to add unique experience that you've done even on the platform. So let's say if you've worked with other attorneys, whether it's in California and you've helped them and have been able to research some of their specific, laws, because that's actually pretty common, especially when you work cross-jurisdictionally, as Kristin was mentioning. So adding some of those unique projects and maybe putting those on your resume as far as your freelance experience, but then also your previous experience working at law firms or running your own firm, that can be another way to highlight and show that you can do that work, or even adding a comment when you're applying and saying, I have worked with someone located in New York before, and I can do this because I have the tools to do so, or really sharing and showing why you can do that really helps to open up that attorney's perspective and get them to understand that, you can do that work for them at a paraprofessional level.
Great points, great points. Okay, let's save and continue. I think now I'm done with my basics. So this is the start of the enhanced profile. I'm not going to go through and fill in all the details here, but maybe we could go through a little bit to talk about what's involved here, just so they have an idea. So the first part is education, where of course you're going to show where you went to law school, the year you graduated, any, highlights you had. So that's something new, would be the highlights. Like, were you on law review? Did you work in a clinic? Were you like top 2 in your class? All of those things. You can also indicate if you have any advanced degrees, like an LLM.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with all the education. As far as the work experience, this is where I recommend sharing everything you've had experience doing. So maybe some of those other law clerk projects that you've done or other freelance roles that you've taken on. It can really, play a big role in the work that you'd like to take on. And you can also highlight anything unique you've done. If you've clerked for a judge, if you have experience in a niche practice area, you've even had specialists in equestrian law and have had attorneys seeking the same. And so all of those things, whether it's been a short period of time or a one-off project here and there, that can be really helpful for you to add.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really going to do this. Okay, this section is really cool now. This is completing the rate, availability, and communication. So I'll kind of go through and maybe do part of this. And another cool thing with this profile builder is if you say, hey, I can do this one quick and save it, then that's done. You can always go back to add your long work history later on or any skills. So it's nice that you can, if you have 5-10 minutes, do as much as you can save the work and go back to it. So just wanted to point that out. But yeah, so rate, availability, and communication.
Yeah, for all of those, the biggest thing is you kind of can control what it is that you want to do. Like Kristin also mentioned, we're going to have a lot of more ways for you to do work and attorneys to actually be able to work with you. So if you can set a rate and give an idea of what it is that you want to do or prefer to work for, that's going to really not only unlock opportunities to see what you're available for, so we can match you with the right opportunities and make sure we're sending the right information to you, but that's also going to help in the long run too, with some of the other things that we have coming forward where an attorney can work with you a little bit more easily. So there is more to come there. It's really exciting, and hopefully it'll help you guys out with getting work. But all in all, like, this helps you control your future work that you want to do and allow everyone to be able to see that when you're actually applying for new work.
One of my favorite on here is adding the language. We're getting more and more demand for freelance attorneys with bilingual skills from a number of practice areas, of course, immigration, but we really are seeing that from a lot of different areas. So you can indicate, if you're fluent in French, awesome. We want to hear about that. I'm going to say I'm fluent in English. I am a beginner in Spanish, so I'm probably not going to put that, but definitely those language skills is a cool thing to be able to add in.
Definitely.
All right. When we go down to the skills, tools, and experiences, this is a cool section. This is one you might have to save and come back to a few times, but we're going to give you an overview of what is available here for you to customize. So I'll let you walk us through.
Yeah. So there's a lot of information you can put here, which is really, really great because this ultimately can help you highlight all the unique experiences that you've had. So because you do work in a paraprofessional capacity, some of the tools are going to be something that the attorneys are looking for. So I do really recommend putting any experience that you have using different tools for, estate planning. Obviously, it might be wealth counsel, but we have a number of other areas and experience that attorneys sometimes are looking for. Sometimes they want to know if you can research different things so you can work for them paraprofessionally if you only have experience in Missouri, but maybe you do want to take on a project in California. So having them know that you've done that done that before and know which tools to use and have access to those things can also really increase your chances of getting, certain work as you're applying through, especially for subscription and hourly, which is what the enhanced profile actually allows you to apply for. Those tools are going to be really helpful for you in the long run. So those are great ones to highlight. Every firm manages their practice differently. So the more that they know about you and what you can use and bring to their firm, the more they'll be able to make an educated decision and hopefully set you up for a better relationship too in the long run working with them.
I bet nobody here knew that I've done 3 trials, but that's okay. Never again, never again. This is really cool. So yeah, I don't want to take too much more time. It's fun to kind of go through and think about, oh, I guess it's making me, since I started it, I have to keep going here. Okay, no, I've not done that. Nope. Kind of. Purchase transaction in the last 12 months. Oh, small. Yes, I have Westlaw. Okay, we're going to save. That really was pretty easy. Okay, great. So I only have that work experience to go back through. Oh, but this section is, I think, kind of optional, but very cool as well. This is really the place to show off a lot of things like awards. I'll let you walk us through this one as well if you want.
Yeah, we have a lot of freelancers who throughout law school, actually published work that is available for other attorneys to use as a resource, whether they're a student or, practicing now. So that's something that would be good to add here, as well as speaking engagements. We have had attorneys that have not only helped some of the hiring attorneys on the platform prepare, CLE presentations and things like that, but they've also spoke at other events as well. And so all of that is really helpful. And it ultimately just, helps kind of showcase what you've done, even if you don't necessarily always want to do that. I'm one that does that myself. So we encourage you to share that. This is the place to do it.
Yep. Toot your horn. Don't hold back. Last but not least is the other section. And I'm also really excited about this. The first thing you'll see there is you have the ability to record a short video. It does not need to be production level. Just get your phone, do a selfie, record a video, and just make your profile come to life by explaining why you freelance and why you enjoy being a lawyer or whatever you want to talk about. But you can upload a quick video there. And I think that's such a cool way to help attorneys get to know you and make them want to work with you,
Yeah, something else I want to add here too is don't forget, we have a lot of great resources on the LAWCLERK site, on the blogs. We actually had a great freelancer who's done a ton of work with us over the years named Matt, and he actually wrote a blog article called Leverage M&A Experience with Niche Freelance Lawyers. And so that's, he kind of lets you know not only how you can do so within the M&A experience, but you can also leverage your experience in general in working with attorneys. And maybe that's something that you can actually add in this section here. So, take a look at some of the resources we have. If there's anything that you might be missing in any of these fields, other information is a great place to add it. But yeah, some of those tools we have available can kind of help you with that too.
All right, because I'm like an overachiever perfectionist, I'm just going to go complete this one real quick because I just want to be done. Oh, I keep spelling Mr. Gordon's name wrong though. And I am a shareholder, current employer. May of.
As Kristin goes through that, I saw Scott asked another question. So how would you recommend showcasing experience with LAWCLERK? So one of the best ways to do that, at least my recommendation, is to do that probably within your resume or even within your work experience. So you can really add it to either or. If you're only completing your basic profile though, and you want to take on just project work, I do recommend adding it to your resume. So I've seen it done a number of ways. You might list LAWCLERK as, the type of work that you've done and how long you've been on the platform. And you can list a number of projects that you've done. I don't think you need to highlight every single project, but you would probably cater it towards the type of work that you want to do. So, if there's a motion that you drafted or you do more motion drafting type work, then you can put, motion drafting work that you've done and kind of list that on your resume in addition to your past experience. And then, like I said, in addition to that, you can also probably put that in your work experience too. So that way, once they look at your profile for subscriptions and hourly opportunities, when they see the enhanced features, it'll be really highlighted there for them to see.
I'll just chime on to that as well. And actually, now that I've gotten 100%, I'm going to stop the screen share. But so, I would say also another way to show off the work you've done on LAWCLERK. We had a lot of hiring attorneys who say, well, you've probably never had any freelancers that have done work in the 9th Circuit or the 2nd Circuit or name a circuit. I'm like, yeah, we have. That definitely, if you've done federal level work, appellate work, that is a great place to show off that. Or even we have had some freelancers do work all the way on briefings for the U.S. Supreme Court. So on the litigation side, that's definitely the place to showcase that. Now we had another question that came in from Alyssa. She says when she clicks on view your profile, she can't see the video she's uploaded. The reason for that is our development team is still in the process of building out. So we have the profile side, we have to build out the side where that is displayed and seen publicly. That's why you can't see it. That will come out and be released in an update later on this year. So we are trying to gather all of this information from our freelancers as we are in the process of building it on the development side for the attorneys to be able to see it. So they don't see it yet, but that is coming very soon. I should have known the release date, but trust me, you'll be hearing all about that when it happens. So, okay, we have a few more pointers we wanted to go over with you before we, open up for more questions and get you back to your day. So let's go through these. And I think, Nichole, maybe you were going to help with those.
Yeah, so once your profile is ready, obviously take your time to fill it all out. But there's a few things that, that'll unlock your ability to do once you actually complete your profile. So one of the things that you might have already seen, I know some of the names on here are super familiar, so you're probably already familiar about searching for work, but as soon as you're done with completing your profile, you can start looking for opportunities to apply for. You can search by flat fee projects, hourly associate opportunities, and long-term subscription opportunities. And to narrow it down even more, you can look for a practice area, see how many hours, the opportunities might be. So that's definitely something I recommend filtering by, so it can help you out in finding what you're looking for. And then once you're done searching, you can apply for your first opportunity. So what I do say, especially if you're first getting started and applying for new work, is that, cast a wide net as you're getting started. The more opportunities you apply for, the more likely it is that you'll be able to land that first role and, keep getting more opportunities after that. If you do happen to get selected for more than one thing, and that's, I know, a common concern when you start applying for a lot of things, definitely make sure to plan ahead, but also, you get a chance to take a look at the conflicts, maybe decline opportunities if you feel like you've taken on too much. So definitely utilize that if you're applying to a number of things and you're worried about getting selected for too many. You always have the chance to review it and make sure that you're good to go before that hiring attorney, start sending that work your way. Now, another thing that can be really helpful is adjusting your settings and your notifications. So this will definitely help you not only manage the work, you might get notifications for communication from the hiring attorney. If there's that's probably the most important one, is if a new message comes in, but you can get notifications on new opportunities that are posted too. So definitely take a look at that once the profile is ready, so you can get the notifications that you want to see and that are going to be most helpful for you as you are navigating your freelance career.
And last but not least, is definitely want to encourage you to download our app. The apps, we have an app for both the hiring side and the freelancer side. Super easy, great way to stay in touch. I was really excited. I posted a project last Friday and I got the notification on the app on Saturday about the person I chose accepted and cleared conflicts. And it's just a great way to keep work moving.
Yeah. And the best thing is you can do everything that you can do on the desktop. So you can search for work, you can apply for work. You can really do everything that you can do online, log your time, receive instant notifications. So in the same way that you can adjust your settings and notifications on your profile, make sure to do so on the app so you don't miss anything that could be, critical to meeting the deadline and things like that.
All right. A few more tips for you, tips and tricks, starting with, you can be sure to take on some work and get some ratings. That really is key to opening the door to getting more and more work, and to maybe even getting more sophisticated work, the kind of work you want to get. If you're new to LAWCLERK and you don't have any ratings that show up on your LAWCLERK profile, it's super important to do everything you can to try to get a few ratings to just kickstart that and show the quality work that you can do. And along with that same line, I guess it goes without saying, but do your best work every time, even if it is on a simple doc review or a research project that just seems really easy to you. That's going to get you good reviews. And go ahead and solicit your hiring attorney, ask them to leave you a review. Sometimes they get so busy and they just click and they skip that part. But if you make an ask and ask them, please leave a review and a rating, especially if you know they loved your work and they were very happy, that's going to make them more likely to slow down and take the 30 seconds it takes to leave a rating. So that's great. You can, of course, also, as part of working with people, say, hey, why don't you go ahead and add me to your team on LawClerk? That way we can work together again in the future. Or, maybe they'll even ask, hey, have you ever had experience with this legal issue or that type of a deal? And that can lead to more work together with that same attorney as well.
Yeah, to add on to that other point too, a lot of times we get questions about, how do I actually get more work? And, it can be as simple as asking the hiring attorney too. So if you're doing a discovery project, if you know that they might need help with the motion coming up, let them know, hey, I'm available if you need help with this motion, or maybe even filing their next complaint. So that's something that I think could be really helpful, because that a lot of our most successful freelancers have been able to leverage as they start taking on projects here and there.
Absolutely. Communicate effectively. I mean, this is a no-brainer for all aspects of life, but you really need to be responsive and be thoughtful in how and when you're asking questions of the attorneys. Definitely take advantage, as we've already mentioned, of the opportunity to leave a comment, leave a note when you're applying for work to highlight your unique skills and continue that heightened communication through the whole course of the work. And again, I think Nichole hit this too, but plan accordingly. Try not to overextend yourself. That can be a big temptation for a lot of attorneys as they do start out freelancing. If you get selected for a bunch of work all at once, don't take on more than you can really handle, because that's probably not going to allow you to do your best work and could lead to bad reviews. And that's a tricky road to go down. So don't overextend yourself, plan accordingly. Okay. That wraps it up for our main comments today on how to rock your LawClerk profile. Nichole, thanks for joining me to share some of your input and on what the attorneys are looking for. And I hope that this helps you understand the importance of completing your profile, both the basic and the enhanced. It doesn't take long. You saw me do it here on the webinar. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, but it was so easy. And I know we have a few more questions. We're going to go through those before we log off. Let's see. This one was long. Let me give me a second to read it. And certainly if you have more, please go ahead and start typing in so we can answer those for you. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, so I guess Carly's question is, let me get your full name because I'm going to have someone reach out to you. She was invited to do a project by someone she'd worked with before. But she really didn't have time based on her other work to do it. And somehow she said the system automatically accepted her to it. If that happens in the future, let us know so we can tell the attorney right away they need to get someone else. We're not trying to force you into that work. I also know another way in the system, if that happens, is when you get to the conflict section, say you have a conflict, and then that will take you off of it and they'll have to reassign it. So that would be another way if you don't have time based on your other work and the deadlines that you're facing.
Yeah, you should always have the option to decline an opportunity though when it comes in. So if that's the case, then like Kristin said, let us know so we can look into it, make sure that's not something that is happening frequently for you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you can, accept or decline before moving forward. If you applied for something and they try and select you for it later on.
Fantastic. Well, I don't see any other questions, so we will let everyone get back to your day. If you do have questions, reach out to your LawClerk advisor. For our freelance attorneys, that's either Dustin or Nagesti. If you're not sure of what their email address is, you can also reach us at support@lawclerk.legal. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say, if you're catching the replay of this in the future, maybe on YouTube or social media, and you don't yet have an account with LawClerk to do freelance legal work, what are you waiting for? It is a fantastic time in the trajectory of the legal industry to be a freelance lawyer, to just really establish the kind of career that you want, work as much as you want on the types of cases you want to handle. And it's really a great way to supplement your freelance career by becoming a freelancer with lawclerk.legal. Go there, sign up. There's no fee to sign up, no monthly fees. And once you've got your profile completed, you can start applying for work. So there's no time like the present, and we hope that you'll check it out. So until next time, have a great rest of your day and thanks for joining us.